Hi all, this is Chetan. Welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to talk about AWS basic services. So if you are not familiar with AWS and you don't know much about AWS services, this lecture is for you. Okay, so before starting this lecture, I want you to understand few things about AWS. First is AWS Global Data Centers. So whenever we will be using some AWS services, typically we will deploy it in some AWS geographical area. Now that geographic area is called AWS regions. Like in across the world, there are different AWS regions available for us. Like in US, there are 7 regions. In India, there is 1 region. In Europe, there are a couple of regions, and in all there are 20 regions at the moment till date, and 5 more regions coming soon in 2019. And when you deploy services, we can choose which regions we need to deploy in. Now every region further is comprised of typically 2 or more data centers. That's for high availability of AWS services, and those data centers are called availability zones. We will learn more about it shortly. Also, as in AWS global data centers, there are something called edge locations. Now edge locations are something like you can consider it like an caching devices which are there across 100 plus cities across the world, and your content like your media, videos and pictures, what you watch maybe on the Facebook or YouTube, they get cached to the nearest location, and from there it is delivered to the user. So it basically improves the performance by lowering the latency, network latency, right? So overall AWS has 130 plus services. If you heard about EC2, S3, these are like different AWS services, and we are going to learn more about these services in this lecture. Okay, so as I said, region is one geographic area. Here the blue area you see is an AWS region, and every region consists of typically 2 or more availability zones for high availability of your application. So when you design your architecture, typically you will keep your machines in different AZs, so that if one of the AZ goes down for some reason, you have your machine running in another AZ and your application then have high availability. Okay, so we'll talk about more this in EC2 sessions, which is a different course, but as of now you just need to know about these things. Okay, I hope the region and availability zone you are familiar with now.